Hey guys, welcome back to Intuitive Angling, and man, I appreciate you guys swinging by the channel today to check the video out. Know that guys, there's so many freaking YouTube channels anymore. I know you guys can't spend all day surfing through them, so thank you very much for checking out Intuitive Angling. Really appreciate that. Guys, today I'm going to show you a rig that has gained a lot of traction all across the country in just a small amount of anglers. It is a well-known thing here in Missouri, especially up at Lake of the Ozarks, and that is fishing this Zoom Magnum trick worm on a Ozark rig, the Core Tackle Ozark rig. This is like a replacement for the Texas rig, and I'm gonna explain to you guys why this thing works so good in the summertime, show you how to rig it because there's a little bit of a learning curve here. And guys, this is definitely gonna add up to some quality fish for you guys. Really about any time the water temperature's over 70, 75 degrees from about May until September, so we'll dig in that. And also guys, we're gonna be talking about two different things here. We're gonna be talking about the Core Tackle Ozark rig. Here it is. Cool thing about the Ozark rig, guys, it's got lead that is distributed down the shank here, and I'm gonna explain to you guys why this is important for this rig. I'll put the Ozark rig in my Tackle Warehouse link in this video description if you guys would like to order a few packs, along with the Zoom Magnum trick worm, guys. A big old fat trick worm here, about as big around as the Cinco, so I'll link both of this in the video description here. And also guys, real quick, one more thing I wanted to remind you guys of. SolarBat has got their biggest sale of the year going on right now on my Signature Series glasses, my RB2s and 3s. 50% off this month in honor of our nation's 250th anniversary. So I'll put my SolarBat link in the description of the video here if you guys would like to order a pair at half off. And if you use the promo code RandyB, you get free shipping and handling. So appreciate putting up all those plugs there. Okay guys, first of all, let me talk a little bit about the Magnum trick worm. Then I'm gonna talk about the Ozark rig, you know, setting it up with it. This Magnum trick worm here has been it's one of those baits that it's not like, you don't hear a lot about it, but it's got a loyal following amongst the anglers that use it. And like, for example, up here, Lake of the Ozarks, where I live, this is a big deal up there in the summertime. People fish this Magnum trick worm around the boat docks. There's also a bunch of people that fish like up on the Mississippi River and La Crosse that know about this thing. Down in Florida, it's a big fat bait, large profile, straight tail worm, and it generates numbers and size of fish. And there's something about this fat, straight tailed worm that is very appealing to the bass in both deeper water and shallow water in the summer. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But the main thing I want to set up here, I want to show you about the Ozark rig here, guys. This is the Ozark rig, which is sort of a replacement for the Texas rig. It's not a shaky head, even though it sort of looks like a shaky head. It's sort of like, it's in a unique class to itself. And the thing about this, here's the benefit to it and why it works so good in warm weather. If you have a Texas rig, you know, you got the lead on the head there, and when you flip or pitch or cast that Texas rig worm into a piece of cover, it drops straight down like a rock. But with the Ozark rig here, since it has the lead distributed throughout the length of the shank, it has more of a horizontal fall to the bait when it comes down like that. And that horizontal glide, for whatever reason, in the warmer weather, along with this big fat worm like that, it's just super appealing to the fish. Good hook sets on it. I'll show you guys how to rig this up right now. It's a little bit, it's not difficult to rig this thing, but you know, you got to do it a couple times to get it down. So I'll sort of show you the best way to do it. And they've got a bunch of different sizes of the Ozark rig, guys. You'll just, like I said, I'll put that Core Tackle link in the description. They got different sizes, hook sizes of the Ozark rig based upon the type of soft plastic you're using. But what you want to do is on the Magnum trick worm, you got a flat side here. You want to come in this flat side, and when you put the hook in, don't come in very far. Oops, had my worm tore there. You don't want to come in very far here. You only want to come in probably about 1/8 of an inch or so, which I normally come through 1/2 of an inch on like a Texas rig, but just about like that. And then carefully push the whole body through there. And then when you get it up all the way, you're simply gonna rotate it around like that, where the head is like that. And you've got a nice keeper there that keeps it in there. And then take your hook and bunch it up, and you wanna come all the way through the worm, you know, and get it centered there. Come all the way through the worm where it pokes out like that. Now, if I'm fishing like a point or something where it's not real snaggy, I'll leave the hook point exposed like that. But if I'm like pitching this thing like up under boat docks or around lay down trees or something, I'm gonna bury that point just back in there just like that. So this is the Ozark rig setup, guys. Really cool looking bait here. Another reason I like this thing is like, it doesn't have a strike detractor, that big Texas rig on the end there. It's a lot more natural looking. And guys, this thing is freaking deadly in the summertime of the year. Okay, now there's two primary color, or three actually, that I want to talk about here. If you do want to order some, basically you only need three colors. You need a green pumpkin here if the water visibility is like, say, over 2.5 or 3 feet. I'll go with green pumpkin. If the water visibility is sort of like between 1 to 2 feet, I like the red bug color here. And then if the water visibility is under 12 inches, I go with the black. Now, if you can get them to go on the black, guys, black is my favorite color in terms of catching the bigger fish. And most of the success that I've had with this big fat Magnum trick worm in the summertime of the year with that Ozark rig is fishing more stained water. So if you get into some dirty water, guys, if it's dirty and hot, like water temperatures over 80 degrees, this black trick worm will get you some good bites. And it can work in a little bit cleaner water if you're fishing shade pockets. Say, for example, if the water visibility is about 2 feet and you're pitching it under the shade of docks, sometimes the black can work good. But you're gonna notice out of all the colors that your bass are gonna average about 1/2 pound or 3/4 pound heavier if you can get them going on the black. And most of the time, guys, I'm throwing this on my flipping stick with a, usually 20-pound test, Seaguard and VizX 4-carbon line is my setup with it there. So that's my setup. Since it's a big bait, I do fish it on the flipping stick all the time. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about areas it works in, where you want to fish it at. This is a really diverse bait in terms of summertime fishing. You can fish it about anywhere, where you think there's some fish at. If you're fishing, areas that have grass, it's a good bait to fish around grass edges, over the, the tops of grass, like on flats and stuff. If you're fishing some grass areas that have some bigger holes in it, like not real thick matted grass, you can pitch that thing in those openings, and that horizontal fall of that Ozark rig is really appealing in those more sparse grass clumps. But there's two areas that I mainly fish it in as far as my part of the country. Number one is your traditional hard structure places in the summertime, like ledges and points and drop-offs. That thing works better than a Texas rig in those situations. So I'll get out off the end of points in like 15 or 20 foot of water, ledges or drop-offs, anything like that. It's the first one. Second one is just pitching it and flipping around shallow cover. Docks are my favorite. It works both on the pier type docks, like you guys that fish like Lake Norman in North Carolina, or the floating docks like in my part of the country at Grand Lake or Lake of the Ozarks. Docks is probably where I've caught the most fish on this setup of anything. But any shallow cover, guys, lay down trees, stumps, logs, lily pads, anything that you have in the water is gonna work good. But if you've never tried it before, the best way to do it, guys, is get those three colors I talked about and fish it around some boat docks this summer and fish it out on points, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So just something a little bit different I wanted to pass along to you guys. Again, I'll have all those links in the description and hope to help you guys out.